Well, happy Friday to everybody. Happy Friday. And for those of you that celebrate Valentine's Day, today's Valentine's Day, obviously. And although it's Friday, the 14th, Valentine's Day, let's face it, a lot of us are getting our butts kicked by inflation. A lot of you that have a significant other or you're in a relationship, for you men that have a girlfriend, you would love to show your woman a wonderful time. Maybe you want to take them out to a five-star restaurant, sit down, enjoy a good steak and potato dinner. But unfortunately, you may not have the money to do so. Because if you do, as expensive as it is to go to a decent restaurant and order a steak dinner, I mean, if you went to a decent restaurant that had quality ingredients, you would probably spend about $50 a plate. So let's face it, some of you fellas out here, your money is low and you would love to take your girlfriend out or your wife out, show her a good time, but but your budget says no, because if you do, you might be spending the next week or two eating, trying to figure out 9 ways to make ramen noodles and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches taste good. And I don't want you guys to have to go through all that. I want y'all to take your women out, show your woman a good time. However, you might have to think outside the box, some of you. Now, on this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can prepare a steak and potato dinner for less than $16 per person. So I'm going to turn this camera around. I'm going to show you guys what I'm working with, and I'll talk to you all later. Alright folks, I got a steak right here that's a little over a pound. I got a pan of some baby carrots with a little bit of water on the bottom. I got some biscuit batter. I got it rolled up in balls. All the spices I'm going to use for today are right here. I got some honey, some lemon pepper, cinnamon, and a little bit of sugar. Those are going to be my spices today. I am already cooking a potato. I had to get a head start on my potato because potatoes tend to take longer to cook than everything else. So that is my setup, and I will be with you guys shortly. Alright folks, we're going to get the show on the road here. I'm going to have to cut my flame down a little bit on my oven here. Now, just to let you all know, I'll just take off the lid. That's what I'll do. And that potato is getting close. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not quite ready yet. Let's test out my potato first of all. No, it's not even close. Let it continue to do what it do. Alright folks, now just so you guys understand, I do not have an oven right now. I have not gotten around to purchasing an oven. But the type of oven I need for this house is a bit on the pricey side, so I'm just using my stove for now. The old 1970 stove. This stove was original with the house. It still works, so I'm going to continue to use it. So this just goes to prove that you don't necessarily need an oven to prepare a nice meal. So first, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to spice up my steak with a little bit of lemon pepper. I forgot to get one seasoning, so I'm gonna get that real quick. Alright, now I know it may not be the healthiest thing to do, but this ain't a health channel. I would, so I like to have a little bit of salt on my steak. So I got some sea salt I'm gonna put on the steak, because this lemon pepper is sodium free. Now, when I cook my steak, I do not grease the pan, because for one, this pan's got one of those little, it's got, I don't know what you call it, but anyways, I don't grease the pan, because as much fat that is sitting on this steak, the fat will serve as the grease that I normally would put down whenever I cook anything. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna flip this steak over. I'm gonna season the other side the same as I did. I'm gonna season this side the same as I did the other side. A little bit of salt. And some lemon pepper. Let's see here. Okay, I got that seasoned. And I think I'm gonna put my steak on the top burner. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn it to, I'll put it, for now I think I'll put it right here between medium and high. Throw my pan on top of that, let it cook. And I think I might go ahead and I might put a lid on top of that just to keep in the heat. I might go ahead and put a lid on top of that. So in a minute here, I'm gonna get me a lid to put on top of that. I'm gonna put a lid back on my potatoes there. And now I got my carrots, and I got my lid over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a lid on these carrots. And I think I will put my carrots over here. So I will put the carrots on medium. I gotta set the medium. I got a little bit of water. I got a little bit of water in this pan, because the last time I cooked the carrots and I didn't put no water in, I ended up burning my carrots and scorching the bottom of the pan to the point where I had to throw it away. So I'm gonna let my carrots steam a little bit. And then after I steam them, I'm gonna put what I put in it. You'll find out later. Now, for the biscuits, kind of like what I did yesterday when I made the French toast, I got a little bit of egg right here. I'm gonna dip in the egg. I'm gonna do that real quick. And by the time I include the price of the egg, because I forgot to include the price of the egg when I wrote out the price for this meal, the real price of this meal will be just over $16, which is still a lot cheaper than what you'll get if you go to a restaurant and attempt to order a steak dinner, especially with the type of ingredients that I'm using and the quantity of side dishes that you're gonna get. That that I'm gonna get, because I'm cooking all this for myself. And no, I'm not eating all this in one sitting. I'm gonna pack some of this away for when I go to work. Alright, let me rinse off my hand real quick. And now I'm going to put some cinnamon on top of these. A little bit of sugar. And then my potatoes, let's see here. There we go. I lost my flame over here. Now I got my flame back. And over here, I'm going to put my flame on medium. And then I'm going to put my biscuits over here. And my steak is cooking pretty nicely the way it is. But I'm going to go ahead and get a lid and put on it. That way I don't make too much of a mess here. So I try to keep everything as clean as I can. That way later it's easier for me to clean up. So yeah, I'm using up 4 pans on this one. 4 pans in this dish, that's 5. So, alright folks, I'll talk to you in a moment. My steak, I got a light on. My steak is coming along pretty good. It's cooking a little quicker than I've anticipated. So I'm not even going to bother to put a lid on it because it's cooking a lot quicker than I'm anticipating. Maybe I'll put a lid on it later once I get it done cooking to keep it warm. My potato, let's test things out here, see how my potato's turning out. See if it's soft yet. And no, not soft yet. I mean, it's coming along, but you know, not quite. I'm gonna flip it over. It's coming along, and that's a red That's a red potato. For those of you that don't know, it's a red potato. I'm gonna let it cook a little longer. My biscuits are still doing their thing. And just like I did with the French toast, I've decided to use coconut oil to cook the biscuits as opposed to regular butter or margarine or cooking spray. Because when I cook biscuits or bread, I find that coconut oil tends to cook a little better than the other stuff. So just so you guys know. And let's see how my carrots are doing. Alright, my carrots are, let's check them out. I'm going to have to get me another fork to stir my carrots. Okay. Yeah, they're still real hard. So I'm gonna let them boil for. Now that they're boiling, I'm gonna let them. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to cut it off. I'm gonna cut this off. No more. Yeah, it's already boiling, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. I'm gonna let it sit for a while for them to soften. I'm gonna cut this one off as well. So I think these potatoes. Let's check them out. And this potato is getting a little soft. So I'm gonna let's see, I'm gonna cut this one off too. Let it sit in there for a minute and soften up a little more. So the only two burners I got going are the biscuits and the steak. I'm gonna grab my other fork and chuck on my steak. Make sure I don't burn my steak. Okay, that side is coming along pretty good. Alright folks, now me personally, when I cook my steak, I like my steak well done. I'm not all that red stuff that some of y'all like. I don't do all that. I like mine well done. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut into this steak and make sure it's well done. And I'll talk to you guys in a moment. Alright folks, I got everything done. I put a little bit of butter and honey in the carrots here. I thought I was recording, but I forgot to press the record button earlier, so sorry. But I got a little bit of butter and honey in these carrots. I use some of this butter, and I use some local honey from the southeast. My steak is done. My biscuits are done. Now, one thing I want to point out about my biscuits is, for one, biscuits do cook better in the oven than they do on a stove top. So if you have an oven, cook them in the oven. Now if you cook them on the stove top like I did, one thing which I forgot to do, which I should have done, was I should have flipped the biscuits a lot sooner than I did. I waited too long to flip them. That's why one side is super burnt. The other side, it's okay. So next time I have to cook biscuits like this, I'll just remember to flip them more frequently. Other than that, they're not bad tasting. They taste better than what they look. I've already sampled a couple of them. My steak is done. It's well done like I like it. I got this lid on just to keep the heat and the moisture inside the meats. My potato, it's done. Same deal with the potato, just to keep it moist. I got the lid on. Yep, that, and to keep it hot. And my carrots, in a minute here, I'm gonna go ahead and plate all this up, and then we'll do a price breakdown of everything. And plus I have a couple of other sides to add to this. Talk to you in a minute. Alright folks, this is the picture of the finished meal. This is my steak and potato meal. And now I will do a price breakdown. I paid $7.85 for the steak. The steak is 1.5 pounds. I paid $1 for the potato. It is about $1 a pound, so I paid about $1 for that potato. I paid $1.50 for 2 servings of strawberries. That's what you see in there, 2 servings of strawberries. And 26 cents for the banana, 1 serving. That's the fruit bowl. 89 cents for some biscuits. You got a few servings of biscuits in there. They're the small ones. $1. This slice of cheesecake is $3. I mean, because it's 2 servings of cheesecake. So that's 2 servings, $3. And $1.10 for 2 servings of petite carrots. And yes, I am picking out today because this is going to be the only meal I'm going to eat all day. So I'm going all out. I'm picking out. Of course, I got your water. Now, I know some of you like to have some wine with your meal. I don't drink, so I guess whatever wine you drink, just add that to the budget. Now, I will tell you that I did not go to Walmart this time for 2 reasons. A, the quality of meat at Walmart is complete garbage. And secondly, where I live, it would have been over a half hour to get to the closest Walmart. So if you guys want to save any money on duplicating what I have that's sitting in front of you, if you go to Walmart, you'll save a little bit of money. But again, I wouldn't advise anybody to buy meat at Walmart because the quality of the meat at Walmart is questionable at best. So everything you guys are looking at ran me $16. So for $16, this is what you can get. Now, tell me what restaurant that you're going to be able to go to and get all of this for $16. A steak, potatoes, carrots, a fruit bowl, 2 servings of dessert, biscuits. Oh, and let's not forget, you go to a restaurant, you also got to tip the waiter. Now, I know some of you are cheap and you don't like to tip. I think that's rude. I think if you're going to go out to a sit-down restaurant, then it's tacky to not tip. That's what I think. If you're not going to tip, then, eat at home. That's how I look at it. That's what my grandpa and my father always used to tell us when we were growing up. But anyways, $16. I mean, nowadays you go to a restaurant and you try to pay $16 for a meal, you'll be lucky to walk away with a cheeseburger and some fries. Just saying. So, enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Everyone stay safe out here on this Valentine's Day weekend. And I'll talk to you later.